Hello everyone and welcome back to Meghan and Harry Tales. I'm your host Adrian. Now you already know this channel is not about palace propaganda. This is the space where truth is told, where narratives are challenged, and where we take a deeper look at what's really going on behind the velvet curtain of the British monarchy. And today we have a story that honestly could have been pulled from the pages of a tragic satire. Because once again, Queen Camilla, yes, the same Camilla who went from royal side piece to royal spouse, is back in the headlines, but not for anything noble or inspirational. No, she's trending because her appearance at Wimbledon turned into one of the most awkward, cold and humiliating public moments we've seen from the British royal family in a while. We're going to unpack what happened, why it matters, how the public responded, and why this speaks volumes about the monarchy's dwindling grip on the British people's hearts. We'll also reflect on how Princess Diana's spirit continues to loom large over every step Camilla takes, and why Meghan Markle and Prince Harry continue to resonate with a new generation in ways Camilla and Charles simply cannot. As always, I like to begin with words that ground us. So here's a verse from the Bible that I think fits today's theme of forced honour and public illusion. For they loved the glory that comes from man more than the glory that comes from God. John 12:43. And to echo that sentiment, here's a timeless quote from Maya Angelou. When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Let's begin. Camilla's very public walk of shame at Wimbledon. On what should have been a day of celebration for the royals, another photo op, another social event, another chance to show stability. Queen Camilla walked into Wimbledon with the expectation of receiving a warm welcome from the public. Instead, what she got was an avalanche of apathy. Yes, Camilla appeared in the royal box at Centre Court during the quarter-finals, surrounded by cameras, celebrities, and what should have been a supportive crowd. But as she made her way to her seat, waving and smiling in that usual forced royal way, the audience remained still. Hands stayed down, faces remained blank, silence stretched long and loud. Let that image sink in. A woman bearing the title of Queen of England entered the iconic royal box, and the audience responded not with respect, not even indifference, but a kind of quiet protest. This wasn't just awkward. It was deeply symbolic, the literal tap of obligation. Even more embarrassing? Members of the royal entourage, women walking behind Camilla, were seen tapping audience members on the back to get them to rise, physically prompting them as if to say, "You must stand up now, protocol requires it." One or two eventually did, but their hesitation screamed louder than any applause could. What does it say when reverence must be requested, when it must be nudged into existence? Because here's the truth. Real respect is not performative, it is not scheduled, it is not forced. It flows naturally when it's earned. And in Camilla's case, the silence of the crowd told the story far better than any official photo ever could. The internet reacts, what majesty? When Wimbledon's official account posted a video clip titled "A Warm Centre Court Welcome for Her Majesty the Queen," the public response was swift, brutal, and refreshingly honest. One user replied, "Warm welcome, where? All I saw were blank stares and two people clapping out of obligation." Another said, "She's not majestic, she's not beloved, she's just Camilla." That comment alone received thousands of likes within hours. Why? Because it echoes what so many people think but feel discouraged to say out loud. Camilla has not earned this role, not in the hearts of the public, not in history, and certainly not in spirit. And then there was this biting remark. The only thing royal about Camilla is the scandal that followed her like a shadow for decades. Ouch. Princess Diana's ghost still haunts the throne. To understand this cold reception, we must go back in time. Camilla wasn't just a woman in King Charles's life, she was the reason the fairy tale fell apart. She was the other woman in a triangle that should have never existed. Princess Diana told the world in her now legendary Panorama interview, "There were three of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded." Those words ring louder than ever. Diana's legacy was built on compassion, authenticity, and a palpable connection to the public. She didn't just wave, she hugged. She didn't just smile, she listened. She felt for people and they felt it. Camilla? She's the living embodiment of everything Diana wasn't. Cold, calculated, carefully PR managed, and the British people know it. Criticise Diana, then copy her. Adding insult to injury, it's now widely known that Camilla used to mock Diana's love for tennis. Diana loved Wimbledon. She adored the sport and its atmosphere. It was one of the few public places she could be free. And yet here is Camilla front and centre at Wimbledon, pretending to enjoy the very tradition she once ridiculed. As many online commenters pointed out, they criticise, then they copy. It's the royal family's favourite trick. Discredit someone, exile them, and then quietly adopt their charisma, their interests and their traditions. We've seen it with Meghan too. From fashion choices to speeches about mental health, things she was mocked for are now being recycled by others inside the palace. But we'll get to that shortly. Camilla's new title, still just the king's wife. There is a running joke online. She's not a queen, she's the king's wife, that's all. And truthfully, the title Queen Camilla still doesn't sit right with the British public. She was originally designated Queen Consort, a more accurate title given the circumstances, but when the palace quietly dropped the consort part, it sparked quiet outrage. You can't rewrite history just because it's inconvenient. A monarchy that used to pride itself on tradition is now inventing new ones to serve their needs. But again, the people see it and they're not buying it. What about the younger royals? And here's where Prince Harry and Meghan Markle come into focus. While Camilla struggles to earn respect despite decades inside the royal institution, Meghan and Harry across the Atlantic continue to build genuine connections through charity, community work, and real conversation. Sure, the tabloids try to tear them down, but people still listen to them. Why? Because their message feels authentic, their love feels real, their struggles feel human. Unlike Camilla, Meghan wasn't handed power. She had to fight to be heard, and in doing so, she earned loyalty. Royal respect must be earned, not demanded. The era of bowing out of duty is ending. Today's generation doesn't believe in titles without substance. You can't demand applause just because you wear a crown. You must live in a way that invites it. Camilla's cold reception is not just about her. It's about what she represents. It's about a monarchy desperately trying to cling to authority in a world that values authenticity over aristocracy. It's a reminder of what happens when the crown becomes more about power than purpose. Spiritual reflections, a house divided. Let's return to scripture for a moment. In Luke 11:17, Jesus says, "Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and a house divided against a house falleth." The British monarchy is not united. Behind the smiles and balcony waves, there is tension, betrayal, silence and manipulation, and the public senses it. The cracks are showing. The cold welcome Camilla received is just the symptom of a deeper rot. Why the Meghan and Harry story matters. And this is why the story of Harry and Meghan remains so powerful. They walked away from the system. They spoke out. They chose truth over tradition. And for that, they've been vilified by the press, attacked by courtiers, and mocked by pundits. But guess what? They're still standing. And millions still stand with them. Because people don't remember the pageantry. They remember the courage. They remember who tried to protect love in a place that had none. As we wrap up today's episode, I leave you with a question. What does it say about a monarchy when the public must be prompted physically to show respect? What kind of institution needs to force admiration? And in contrast, what does it say about a couple like Meghan and Harry, who left all the pomp behind but continue to draw people in with nothing more than sincerity? That's the world we're living in now. The crown is losing its shine. And for many, the real royalty lives in California. Thanks for watching Meghan and Harry Tales. I'm Adrian. If this story resonated with you, please like, comment and subscribe. Let us know what you think of Queen Camilla's chilly reception and what it means for the monarchy moving forward. Until next time, remember, truth doesn't need a crown. It just needs a voice. Stay safe, stay brave, and as always, God bless.